you're losing a little bit of hope. It at least seems that Trump and his team is on the ball.
To protect the vote, and I'm pleased to, this is the first time I've announced this, actually, announced that our campaign is going to be leading a historic effort in conjunction with the RNC, that's Republican National Committee, the state parties, and a team of the most highly qualified lawyers and other professionals in the country to ensure that what happened in 2020 will never happen again. We're not going to allow it to happen again. To protect the vote, and I'm pleased to.
I mean, we do have more people on the ground. You have Charlie Kirk and his team. So you will about Charlie Kirk, but him and Turning Point, they're teaching classes. They got literally hundreds and hundreds of people being trained for ballot harvesting, ballot chasing, which is very important, maybe the most important. Get out the vote things. You got Scott Pressler registering people. Registrations in places like Pennsylvania, for example, are on the up and up for Republicans. So everyone's like, oh, it's going to be the same thing. I'm not going to vote 2020, blah, blah, blah. But it's not. We have so many good people involved in elections now. Moms for Liberty. We have people teaching classes on what to do, ballot harvesting. We got some ground game. We got some heavy ground game this time. And everyone's like, well, they still might cheat. It's just like, it's like, well, then leave. Like, I hate, like, I get into those conversations all the time, especially over on, like, Gab and stuff. Like, it's rigged. Forget it. I'm not going to vote. I'm like, well, then shut up and leave. Don't complain about anything ever again if you're just going to sit in your ass and do nothing. The system's rigged. I mean, why do you even vote? I'm just going to sit here. You're giving in to the system. Which is the most retarded argument. If you vote, you're giving in to the system. Shut up. Then leave the country then that you claim to love so much. There's always going to be fraud. They're going to fight like hell to take this thing. But we got to get out and vote. And as for voting early, I was pretty critical of it, and now it's like my stand. Look, I vote in person day one. That's what I do. I do it right after work. I usually do it right before the polls close, just because that after work I get there just in time every single year, every single cycle. That's what I do. And if you're just like, look, I can't do that every election day. I got work. I'm traveling, whatever it may be. Then in that case, I would say, okay, then take advantage of the early voting. You could do early in-person voting, which is probably the next best thing. Requesting an absentee ballot, which is not the same as a mail-in ballot. It's not ideal, but if you have to do it, you have to do it. It's better than nothing. Mail-in ballots are absolutely the problem. Yeah, Scott Pressler moved to Pennsylvania. He bought a house. I mean, hey, if he can afford it. It's not the greatest time to buy a house, but hey, if you can afford it, man, more power to you.